seen nothing like this yet. Yeah, grab your friends, let's make some noise. Feel the rush, let's jump for joy. Dance around and lose control. Welcome to the Mama Bear Show. Welcome, welcome, here we go. Feel the magic, feel the glow. Laugh and sing and dance along. Welcome to the Mama Bear Show. Everybody raise your hands. Feel the rhythm with the band. From the start until the end. Every moment, every trend. Feel the love, it's in the air. Music lifts you everywhere. Every smile and every cheer. Mama Bear is finally here. Welcome, welcome, here we go. Feel the magic, feel the glow. Laugh and sing and dance along. Welcome to the Mama Bear Show. Welcome, welcome, here we go. Feel the magic, feel the glow. Laugh and sing and dance along. Welcome to the Mama Bear Show. Everybody raise your hands. Feel the rhythm with the band. From the start until the end. Every moment, every trend. Yeah. Feel the love, it's in the air. Music lifts you everywhere. Every smile and every cheer. Mama Bear is finally here. Welcome, welcome, here we go. Feel the magic, feel the glow. Laugh and sing and dance along. Welcome to the Mama Bear Show. Welcome to the Mama Bear Show. Yeah.
Good morning, Money. How are ya? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody around the world. How is everybody? How are you doing, Money? How is everybody this morning? I hope everybody made it out okay yesterday and had a beautiful day yesterday. And our prayers is continuing for everybody in the path and the devastation of the hurricane, in the tropical storm of the hurricane. And the updates have not been good. There is still many, many missing, and the death toll has risen to over 100. The last updates that I got. The president is going to update the nation at 10:30. I have that ready as soon as he shows. We have another tragic that is going to happen to our nation. As of midnight tonight, we have 36 ports here on the East Coast that is going to shut down, all the way from Texas to New York. We're going to go over that, of what that's going to detail. I don't know if many of you New Yorkers looked at what was happening here in New York as of last week. Adams, the New York mayor, was indicted. And after his indictment, he decided to have a party. I don't know if many of you are aware of that, but he decided to have a party. So I thought that was kind of interesting. He had an indictment party. There was many pictures of the internet on that, of him having a party. I thought that was pretty disgusting, of him having a party. That was pretty disgusting. I'd say so. Um, I thought that was uncalled for, him having a party. I just, but as I seen it this morning, it was business as usual. He left Grace Mansion and proceeded to have business as usual. So he said that he will not resign, um, but our governor can remove him from office. She has not stated if she is going to yet remove him. But remember, she's a Democrat. He's a Democrat. So that is that is up to her. So, but everybody remembers El Chapo. Um, his, his great lawyer that defended him, is now using her status as to launch a music career. I haven't looked much into it, but we'll have to look into that. Um, the lawyer that defended Al Chapo is now using her status as the lawyer to launch a music career. So that's something interesting we'll have to look into. We are connected to a record, so we'll have to look into that. Um, uh, we'll have to look into that, see what kind of music she is doing. Money, you'll have to look into that. Uh, uh, Lori Maria, we'll have to look into that. We'll have to look into that. Uh, we'll have to look into her and see. And see who she is, and see how she see what kind of music she is getting into. That's interesting. Um, I'm not into much of football, but I see there were some injuries this weekend in football, and some were taken off the stadium. Um, so people that are into football, but yes. But I do know in one town in Asheville, there is a big museum there called the Biltmore, and it's the Biltmore Estates. Um, I know that is was heavily damaged, severely damaged. I've seen a lot of pictures of that. Um, And I believe the governor is going to do uh, a speech from there today. Um, I always wanted to go to the Biltmore Estates because that is a beautiful home. So, but I don't think so. But that I guess is beautiful there. So, but let's see what I have saved up for us to watch. Here is some of the devastation I have saved. Um, there is music in this, so I have got to shut the music off. But here's some of the devastation in parts of North Carolina. This looks like a trailer park there. As you can see, the trailers are now in the road. The cars are totally washed away. Um, there is just absolutely nothing left of these homes. Totally nothing left. Um, total disaster. And all we can do is pray for these families and pray that they made it out okay. It's hard to watch some of these. Hey, Indiana, some of these homes are just totally, they have nothing. People have absolutely nothing. You know, these homes are just totally disastered. You know, where they actually started from, we don't know. Um, there's just totally nothing left of them. Totally nothing left of them. Um, vehicles. There is totally, absolutely nothing left of these homes. People's hard-earned money saved for these. Look at the boat. You know, children's toys. But this looks like it used to be a trailer park. And there's nothing. Absolutely nothing now. Absolutely nothing. And where do they rebuild? Where do they start? Where do they start? You know, where do people start? You know, where do people start? It's hard to say where do you start? You know, it's hard to say where do we start? You know, you know, it's so hard to say where do I start? You know, I have gone through a fire. I lost my home in a fire. Um, and I stood there that day. Where do I go? What do I do? What do I do? And luckily I had family, and I went and stayed with family. And having to rebuild was something else, you know, and getting ready to rebuild was something else. Oh, Fox the cat, good morning. And rebuilding was something else just from the fire. And these guys, they don't even have a town to help them because that town's gone. There's many, many towns totally gone, you know, and I've watched so much that towns are gone. Towns are completely gone. Um, Towns are gone. There's not even towns to look at. Um, there's not even towns to think about. There's not even a town to think about. But our beloved president, who has been absent so far, is going to speak on relief of this. And then we'll go back to, because I do have other footages of the hurricane and the tropical storm. But I do want to bring the president's remarks to everybody. Because so far he's been absent in this. But we do have some other things going on. There is right now over 100 people that have perished that they have located so far. I have seen over 500 missing. They're still searching for. I have seen where there is private helicopters going in to drop food. The National Guard has helicopters out. I see where people are flying drones in. I see where they're hooking up Starlink because cell service is down, because cell towers are down. They are hooking up Starlink with generators. I see where ham radios, people that have the hand radios, are getting messages in and out, which is good. So the hand radios are going in and out. So people are getting messages in and out. Um, so, but it's going to be weeks. They said it will be weeks before power is restored in many areas. I do have family that was just outside of this area that was devastated. Um, they are okay. Um, so I was lucky that they are okay. Um, there is many people. These roads are. It's going to take a long time for these roads to ever get opened up because they are totally washed away. Bridges are totally gone. It's going to take months and months to get people um, powered back up. As of 35 minutes ago, Tennessee has 55,711 people without power. Indiana, 58,947 without power. West Virginia, 68,622 without power. Kentucky, 132,826 without power. Virginia, 187,432 without power. Ohio, 210,667 without power. Florida, 462,763 without power. North Carolina, 712,382 without 84 without power. Georgia, 771,782 without power. South Carolina, 1,066,098 without power. So that is a lot of people without power. Yeah, that's okay. I learned to ignore her, but I wanted her to take warning of those cards, but she won't. Nicole has her own game. She's been playing it for years. She's been playing it for years. Been playing it for years. Yes. And the one thing about me is I try to bring facts. I don't bring bullshit. I try to bring facts. I try to bring facts and I look for facts. Um, I look hard for facts and I double check my facts before I bring facts. Bring them. I look really hard for my numbers and I look really hard. I look really hard. Yes, yes, let's go. Yes, use your cameras. Use your cameras. Record. 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 I try to bring facts. I do a lot of searching before I do my lives. And I really try hard. I really try hard to figure out where I am and who what I bring. And, you know, I look and see. And, there is a lot out there. And there's a lot of, just like I was looking today and I was I was looking at some of the lives that was being reported on the flooding. They were not even Tennessee or North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, or any of it. They were other countries. So really look and see what is being reported. Really look and see what's being reported, because some of them aren't even in the U.S. They are not even in the U.S. Insurance companies, correct. Insurance companies may not pay because of the dams, because 2 dams broke and a third one is still holding, but it may break. A dam broke in North Carolina, and a dam broke in Tennessee. So they may go back on the state and go back on federal government because they were dam failures. Insurance companies may not pay because of flooding. If you don't have flood insurance, they may not pay. I've gone through a flood. My homeowner's insurance would not pay because it was flood related. Luckily, FEMA paid. Luckily, FEMA paid for the flood damage to my house, because the flood took out my foundation to my house, and FEMA paid for it. So I was lucky. I was very, very lucky that FEMA paid for it. And I lived where there was no flooding. But because the creek flooded and it took out my house, part of my foundation of my house. So, and these people live in no flood zones. And I heard back, these places haven't flooded in over 100 years. Over 100 years. Well over 100 years. These places haven't flooded. So, this is totally unusual. Totally unusual flooding. Totally unusual. You two, let's go. And thank you for coming by. I've seen you in my comments before. Thank you. And you have a great day. Okay. But like I said, we're waiting for President Biden to come, and he takes one step at a time. And it's a slow progress for him to make it to the podium. But I do want to bring his, because we do have a few things going on, and I'm wondering if he's going to address the other issue of the 36 ports that is shutting down. That is the other thing I'm waiting to see if he's going to address. Because we have 36 ports. They said that the federal government is not going to step in, but we will see if he addresses that today because of everything going on. But we will see, because that's going to be interesting. But I wanted to see what he says and what aid they are going to give the people in what states, because I know Florida has a Republican senator. I know North Carolina is a Democrat. Kentucky is a Democrat, I believe. I'm not sure Tennessee. So we will wait and see what he has to say. But it will be interesting to see what he has to say. But while we're waiting,
Don't lose yourself. All I see is propaganda in the world. All I see is propaganda. And all I see is propaganda. 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 Propaganda. Yeah. United we stand, divided we fall. New Year's Eve, they've been dropping the ball. Independent, how we dead in the game with a right to the sound of applause. Hit truths, dotted lines, ain't never signed, stood and remain a boss. In a world that is full of facades, where if you speak, you get nailed to a cross. I won't be silent, I am outspoken, I am the product of pain. So when you see my name, no fame can never break down a brain that is already broken. Every wound is a paid devotion, they feel words as I purge emotion. Scam scares, I drop hits that bleed lies from demonic omens. The system decides what we spend and we buy while most of our time is spent in bed. The dreams we have all stay inside, we sleep and wake, then live with regret. The price of life is half the cost, the price of fame could cost your head. If infamy is what you're seeking, propaganda is what you spread. And all I see is propaganda, propaganda. 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 Look what they did, indoctrinated. They convinced us all that everything we say is racist and blood will change it. That's what happens, y'all need balance. Y'all need blacks and whites and lefts and rights to stop the madness. They planned it. It's trouble Biden, we all been divided, riot in the streets. Elections always been rigged. I ain't surprised if somebody cheats. All I see is penetrating to the propaganda, but our priorities are vaccine. It ain't hard for wolves to find a flock when the sheep are fast asleep. Too many people lack character, too many journalists scaring you, too many pencils attempting to rewrite the Constitution. They probably gon' tear it up. I love the country, but I don't trust the people taking care of us. We went to bed with the American dream, we woke up in America. Propaganda, and all I see is propaganda. Propaganda, and all I see is propaganda. Propaganda, and all I see is propaganda.
I forgot to shut off the loop track. As always, he is late. So it'll give us time to play some songs, which we haven't done in a while.
In the night we feel so lost. Shadows God's embrace. Rise above the endless grave. Feel the dawn of a new day. New day. Let the flames ignite the night. Turn our tears into pure light. We will shine, we will believe. From the shadows we will leave. Like a phoenix from the fire, we will soar above desire. In the ashes we find light. In our hearts we'll win this fight. Like a phoenix from the fire, we will soar above desire. In the ashes we find light. In our hearts we'll win this fight. This fight. We'll win this fight. I never seen God's eyes, but I've seen the devil's. He walks with men on earth at different levels. He knows the king we serve, so he hates and meddles, and prays that we all burn and turn to rebels. He tried to get my soul, but I'll never settle. I walk this lonely road from the burbs to ghettos. I'll take the gift bestowed and return a vessel. I am the one they chose. Rebellious in our ways, missing it since birth. He knew that it would happen when he put us on this earth. We demonized religion, brought corruption to the church. We know the price of everything, but we don't know the worth. We spend all of our time idolizing false prophets. Comparison's the enemy, stop watching others' pockets. The social system's broken, we divide on every topic. They fabricate the truth and we all monetize the gossip. We know the problems and we see them, but don't want to change. We're desensitized to every issue, cause they let us profit off of people's pain. In this dystopian age, we are the game that he plays, and all the evil, deceitful people shake our faith. I never seen God's eyes, but I seen the devil's. He walks with men on earth at different levels. He knows the king we serve, so he hates and meddles, and prays that we all burn and turn to rebels. He tried to get my soul, but I'll never settle. I walk this lonely road from the burbs to ghettos. I'll take the gift bestowed and return the vessel. I am the one they chose. Rebellious in our ways, but sinners since birth. He knew that it would happen when he put us on this earth. We demonized religion, brought corruption to the church. We know the price of everything, but we don't know the worth. We spend all of our time idolizing false prophets. Comparison's the enemy, stop watching others' pockets. The social system's broken, we divide on every topic. They fabricate the truth and we all monetize the gossip. We know the problems and we see them, but don't want to change. We're desensitized to every issue, cause they let us profit off of people's pain. In this dystopian age, we are the game that he plays, and all the evil, deceitful people shake our faith. I never seen God's eyes, but I've seen the devil's. He walks with men on earth at different levels. He knows the king we serve, so he hates and meddles, and prays that we all burn and turn to rebels. Tried to get my soul, but I'll never settle. I walk this lonely road from the burbs to ghettos. I'll take the gift bestowed and return a vessel. I am the one they chose. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello, Ariel. In other news, while we're waiting for Biden to come on, in Convair, Georgia, yesterday there was a fire in a plant, in a chemical bio plant in Convair, Georgia. Sprinkler had malfunctioned around 5 a.m. Sunday in a bio plant in Convair, Rockland County. Fire chief said, causing water to mix with water reactivating chemicals, producing a plume of chemicals. The fire could be seen 30 miles away. There is a shelter in evacuation, and also shelter in place Sunday to avoid the chemicals. Interstate 20 has been shut down in both directions still. And there is still visible smoke coming from the place. It is a swimming pool and spa water division, where they evidently make parts for swimming pools and spas. This is the second one. This is the second one, Ariel. Because one happened in Texas. One happened in Texas, Ariel. One happened in Dallas, Texas. If I remember it was Dallas. Don't quote me on it, but I believe it was Dallas. It happened a couple months ago. If I remember right, one happened in Dallas, Texas. It was a spa and pool. I believe it was Dallas, Texas. There was no injuries, but it will take a couple days for it to clear. That's the funny thing. It's going to take a couple days for this to clear because of air quality. Because the smoke is still visible. They do not have school today in the area. That is scary. That is scary. Hey, Robert. There is chlorine in the air. There is chlorine in the air. That is scary. That is downright scary. Downright scary that there is still chemicals in the air. And it's over 20 hours later that there is chlorine in the air. But I am still interested to see there was a fire in Georgia, Convair, Georgia, pool and spa factory that burnt. It's plastic, but the water reacted with the chemicals and caused the fire. And it's over 24 hours later. It's almost 36 hours later. And there's still chemicals in the air. There's still smoke in the air from the fire. And it's interesting to see that but we're waiting to see what's going to happen. The president's going to announce relief efforts for Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida. We are waiting to see the updates of what he has to say. Yeah, there, and according to the weather map, there's hundreds still unaccounted for. There are still hundreds unaccounted for. And unfortunately, we have another tropical storm kicking up. There is another tropical storm kicking up. Tropical Storm Kirk is where is this storm? Tropical Storm Kick is out there. There's Joyce out there. Isaiah isn't a threat anymore. Kirk is kicking up. I know where its path is going to be. Joyce is out there. So there is some more storms out there. And Kirk and Joyce are following the same path as each other right now. Kurt is a category 3 right now. Kurt is a category 3 hurricane right now. Joyce is only a depression. So hopefully they dissipate. Isaiah is kind of gone to a depression, but that one's kind of heading up towards Iceland. But yeah, there's still storms out there. There is still storms out there. China is getting hit. China right now is getting hit with Tropical Storm Catherine. That is predicted. That's got 70-mile-an-hour winds. Jedediah Tropical Storm is out towards Japan. So the oceans are not being very friendly right now. They are not being very friendly at all right now. According to the weather map. So they are not friendly at all right now. So I do have an extended weather map system that I look into. So, well, Biden, you are late. You were supposed to start at 10:30. You were promptly late. It is now going on 11 o'clock. I have other things I want to cover. So I may break away from this and do my other live stream. Okay. We have a serious issue going on. I will keep an eye on that other issue. We have a strike getting ready to hit us. We have a port strike going on. I am going to play this for you guys.
I know you have a lot of insight into the supply chain. Where do you sit on the likelihood of this strike actually happening on Monday and how long it would be? Bank of America and TD Cowen say increasing likelihood, but they believe it will be short, maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's the big question. We certainly are increasingly view this as a likelihood strike. I think a couple of months ago, we thought it would be very unlikely that there wouldn't be a White House intervention. And so it appears that the White House has said that they're not going to intervene in the strike and ask for a cooling off period, which we really didn't expect. We thought with an election season upon us and the election just a month out that the White House would intervene, but that doesn't appear to be the case.
All right. So right now, I know you we're seeing right now if the administration may intervene or may not intervene. The USMX said they would like to work with federal mediators. In your mind, let's say the Biden administration decides to get involved in the talks. Is there any chance of them using some of the legislation that's at their disposal that hasn't been used in many years? The Hartley-Taft Act, anything like that? I mean, do you see anything like that on the horizon?
Well, they have the ability to ask for a cooling off period of 60 days, which would put us past the election. And we actually expected that to be the case. We expected that to be the position that the Biden administration would take. Recent reports that have come out have been leaked to the press have suggested that the Biden administration is not going to intervene. They're in a really no-win situation. If they do allow the strike to take place, this could have catastrophic impacts to supply chains right before the holidays. A lot of the products that move through containers that are going to be impacted are consumer-related goods, and this is peak season right before the holidays. And so you would think that the Biden administration would not want headlines about a supply chain crisis right before Christmas, but that appears to be the case. And so if they don't intervene, if they do intervene, then you potentially upset the unions and union members, and not just the ILA, but other union membership across the country, which would have, I think, a big impact at the polls. And so it's a no-win situation for the administration, but I think for consumers and businesses, this could have catastrophic impact to the economy that will be felt for months, if not longer.
Yeah, let's switch gears from the political stuff. I want to lean a little bit more into your wheelhouse, actually the movement of goods right now. So I was talking to a very large freight company. They were talking about their retail customers. They said many of them are starting to move their imports to the West Coast. However, these are often contract customers. They say if you want to move to the West Coast right now, they're going to actually charge them double. Even though they're contract customers on the East Coast, they're basically going to charge them double to move this over to the West Coast. Are you hearing similar things? Are you seeing similar things? And then how does that impact just basically the willingness of these retailers to bring inventory in?
Yeah, the big ship lines have actually put substantial surcharges on containers that are headed into the East Coast. We've seen situations where there have been ship lines that have actually stopped taking inbound freight for export that goes through these ports, and so we are seeing, at least the large ship lines go ahead and prepare for significant slowdowns or stoppages, and that is impacting supply chains. This is, strikes are not unexpected events, or labor issues are not unexpected. The supply chain has been impacted and continues to be impacted by these threats of strikes. There's a lot of noise heading into a strike, but so shippers are prepared to deal with that. One of the nice things is that the West Coast ports are, have a new contract that they were able to get about 2 years ago, and so they are performing. Supply chain managers have options, and this is not a black swan event that's unexpected. So they've been taking preparations, but what ends up happening is the unexpected. Inevitably, because there's so many different dependencies in a supply chain, there's so many different parties, inevitably, even when you plan for these types of events, something that gets routed you didn't expect, or ends up in a container box that ends up on a ship that's headed to the East Coast, could impact your supply chain, and there are downstream implications of doing so.
Okay, now there's 36 ports, New York to Texas. They ship these trucks. Some of them go to the West Coast. Now there's a problem. Many trucks cannot go to California because they're banned because of California regulations. So they cannot go into California to pick up that freight because of the regulations that California placed on trucks. That's going to hurt the trucking regulation. There goes your money. Now, some of the stuff on those trucks, on those ships, are pharmaceuticals, fruits, vegetables. It's sitting out there in port. Now, if you caught it, 60 days before the government can step in. 60 days. Did you catch that? Once they strike. Did you catch that? So there's a lot of produce on those ships that's going to rot. Cherries, bananas. How much exported fruit? Now, you're going to talk about beef that farmers ship out. That's going to sit on docks and rot. Our export that's going to sit on those docks and rot. Not only import, but it's export. How about that? Hello, Drive Sample 3. How are you? Are you who I think you are? But that stuff is all going to sit on the docks and not go anywhere. Okay. That stuff's going to sit on the dock and rot. So everything we're going to export is going to sit on the dock. Everything import's going to sit out on the ocean. Now, there's car parts out there. There's fruits and vegetables out there. Pharmaceuticals out there. And if they decide to go to the West Coast, it's double. So what's going to happen there? Everything that comes off that ship now is going to be double the price. So here goes our economy again. Everything's going up in price. Here we go again. Here we go again. Because they don't want to sit down with our shoremen and talk. And the shoremen have been without a contract for years. They don't want to give them health insurance. They don't want to give them vacation. They don't want to assess the risk of what they're doing. Do I believe in all the unions? No. I've never worked in a union. But come on. Give a little. Both sides. Because here our country is again going to suffer, and here the middle class and the lower class are suffering again. Because can those shoremen afford to be out of work? Nope. You know it, and I know it. They can't be afford it. Just like when the railroads went out of work. They can't afford it. No, Ariel, they can't. They cannot afford to be out of work these days. Just like every senior citizen is struggling. Every senior citizen is struggling. To keep their home. Everyone. Hey, AJ, how are you? Okay. Where are we? Okay. President still hasn't came out yet. I am going to play some of the footage of the hurricane. This is part of Tennessee, and I am watching for the president to come out.
Basement. Oh. Really crazy.
This is Asheville. Some of these are Asheville, North Carolina, and other towns. Some are built more. Some of these are the governor paying the damages. Getting to the road.
be a flood like this while we're alive. Oh God. Oh, I never.
This is Florida. Yeah, AJ, UK is getting hit hard. Wow, look at that house. The office. Okay, we're going to break away from this.
Just a catastrophic storm. It's a historic, history-making storm. The entire Southeast and Appalachia. Damage from the hurricane stretches across at least 10 states. Winds over 120 miles an hour in some places. Storm surges up to 15 feet and record flooding. Communities are devastated. Loved ones waiting, not sure if their loved ones are okay, and they can't contact them because there's no cell phone connections. Many more folks displaced with no idea when they'll be able to be returned to the home, if ever, if there's a home to return to. We're keeping them all in our prayers and all the lives lost. Those particularly unaccounted for. There's nothing like wondering, is my husband, wife, son, daughter, mother, father alive? And many more who remain without electricity, water, food, and communications. Whose homes and businesses have washed away in an instant. I want them to know we're not leaving until the job is done. I also want you to know I'm committed to traveling to the impacted areas as soon as possible, but I've been told that it'd be disruptive if I did it right now. We will not do that at the risk of diverting or delaying any of the response assets needed to deal with this crisis. My first responsibility is to get all the help needed to those impacted areas. And I expect to be there. Excuse me, I have a cold. I expect to be there later this week. I and my team are in constant contact with the governors, mayors, and local leaders.
Reach so much.
Head of FEMA, Deanne Griswold, is on the ground now in North Carolina. She's going to stay in Asheville and Appalachia region for the foreseeable future. There's been reports of over 100 dead and the consequence of this storm, and there are reports of up 600 people unaccounted for because they can't be contacted. God willing, they're alive, but there's no way to contact them again because of the lack of cell phone coverage. I've directed my team to provide every available resource as fast as possible to your communities to rescue, recover, and to begin rebuilding. In addition to FEMA, it includes the Federal Communications Commission to help establish communications capability, the National Guard, the Army Corps of Engineers, and the Department of Defense are going to provide all the resources at its disposal to rescue and assist in clearing debris and delivering life-saving supplies. So far, that's over 3,600 personnel deployed. That number is growing by the day. I quickly approved requests from governors of Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Virginia, and Alabama for an emergency declaration. And I approved additional requests for the governors of North Carolina, Florida, South Carolina, and for a disaster declaration to pay for debris removal, provide financial assistance directly to survivors. FEMA and the Small Business
Got
Administration are
$700
there to help the
per
residents
family.
whose homes and business were literally destroyed, washed away, or blown away. And the federal search and rescue teams have been working side by side with state and local officials and partners in very treacherous conditions to find those who are missing. And they'll not rest until everyone's accounted for. I want to thank all the first responders and everyone who's been working around the clock. One of the brave teams who's volunteered to be there is from San Diego County Fire Department, set to travel all the way from California to North Carolina to help. But on their way, they were in a terrible car accident in Louisiana. We pray for their full recovery, but it was a bad accident. We know there's more to do, and we'll continue to surge resources, including food, water, communications, and life-saving equipment. We'll be there, as I said before, and I mean it, as long as it takes to finish this job. Let me close with this. As president, I've seen firsthand the devastating toll that disasters like this take on families and communities. I've been on the ground in many disasters areas since I've been president. Excuse me, and I've heard dozens of stories from survivors about how it feels to be left with nothing, not even knowing where or when to get back on track. I'm here to tell every single survivor in these impacted areas that we will be there with you as long as it takes. For the sake of yourselves, excuse me, and your families, I urge everyone returning to their communities and home to listen to the local officials and follow all safety instructions. Take this seriously. Please be safe. Your nation has your back, and the Biden-Harris administration will be there until the job is done. God bless you all. And I'm thinking of those that are still wondering where your loved ones are. Thank you.
Will you need to supplemental to help the people in the Southeast, Mr. President?
Say again?
Will you need to ask Congress for a supplemental?
That's my expectation, yes.
You know roughly how much you're thinking?
Not yet. This is a historic storm. It's devastating. They've never seen anything like this before. And some of them are back to back, 3 storms in a row. So it's really, really devastating.
Would you consider asking Congress to come back for a special session to pass a supplemental?
That is something I may have to request, but no decision's been made yet.
Do you have a sense of where you'll go when you are able to go, sir?
Yes, I told the governor of North Carolina to go down, and I expect to be down there by Wednesday or Thursday. It would be clear for me to go. You guys have traveled with me. You know, there's an entourage. This can be disruptive.
Is there a mistake for President Trump to be down there today in Georgia? Is that disruptive?
I don't have any idea.
On another issue, on the other side of the world in the Middle East, it's our understanding.
I'm going to stick with this.
What's that?
I'm going to stick with this subject, but go ahead.
Well, it's just the fact that Israel may be now launching a limited operation into Lebanon. Are you aware of that? Are you comfortable with their plan?
I'm more aware than you might know, and I'm comfortable with them stopping. We should have a ceasefire now. Thank
Do
you.
you expect
Iran to retaliate?
On the hurricane, Mr. President, why weren't you and Vice President Harris here in Washington commanding this weekend?
I was commanding. I was on the phone for at least 2 hours yesterday and the day before as well. I commanded. It's called a telephone.
Is it-
all my security.
Is it not important for the country to see
Well, if he does anything like he did Hawaii and the people of Hawaii, he issued $700 per family, and then left them because they absolutely have nothing in Hawaii. If y'all remember Hawaii, they have absolutely nothing. So, if it's anything like Hawaii, those people were left alone. So, do I expect anything less? No. They got $700 per household in Hawaii. So, do I expect anything less for the people of this? Nope. That's all they got. They are still fighting for FEMA to help them over in Hawaii and trying to rebuild their homes and stuff in Hawaii. So what do I expect for the people here? So what do we expect? I have watched the Biden and Harris administration give billions and billions, and everybody knows it, to Ukraine. And everybody has seen it. Everybody has seen it. And here we are. Our people are in trouble. And where are we? Where are we? I may have to go and seek more money. Now you should be saying, I am going to seek more money for them. Now I may have to. You say, I will be seeking money for them. But, hey, Brandon, you will be seeking money for them. It's not, I may seek money for them. You say, I am seeking money for them. It's not, I may. You are seeking money for them. It's not, I may. You are seeking money for them. Wake up, people. Wake up, people. Why aren't people waking up and smelling coffee? Biden and Harris administration don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. And interesting what I just found. They have arrested 8 illegals so far in Eastern for robbing flood victims and trying to recover. They have arrested 8 illegals so far. Really? Didn't know that. I have to do some research in that. Well, I'll have to do some research into that. They have arrested right now 8 illegals for looting. Yep, they arrested 8 of them. Interesting, huh? Interesting. Isn't that interesting? Let's go back and finish watching the video of the damage. House under a bridge. Wow.
In Tennessee, helicopters were sent to rescue over 50 people stranded on the roof of a hospital. One of the most powerful storms to hit the US in recent years, Helene triggered catastrophic flooding. Millions of homes were left without power, and fatalities have climbed across 4 states. By early Friday, the National Hurricane Center downgraded Helene to a tropical depression with maximum sustained wind.
Okay, we're back at the beginning of where we started up. It's amazing what is happening there. Totally amazing. Florida is just devastated. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, it's just devastated. Totally devastated. Totally devastated. Totally devastated. And of course, we have our illustrious Vice President doing a
Yes, are you guys?
doing her 20-minute tour the other day.
No, she'll be in the light.
But she'll
kind of be. Oh, sorry.
Faked 20-minute trip to the border. Her first actual step on the border. I don't consider her other trip to the border a border trip.
I don't hear anything.
You see how orchestrated this is? Do you see how orchestrated this is? She didn't even meet with the actual director of the border. Just interesting. This was nothing but a show trip. And they secured both sides of the border. She didn't actually go to the border the first trip, but she just actually just made it look good. She went to the border. You see the barbed wire fence that was placed by the governor of Texas. Um,
The ability for our agents to move laterally east to west and respond is incredibly important. And I think one of the other key things that really is incredibly necessary to throw out is the amount of rescues. So every day, and the agency is often maligned. There's often some vilification. Agents are out there rescuing lives every day. There's somewhere hoping at the top to rescue someone who's broken a leg.
but it was nothing but a photo op.
And every time we do that, the agent rescue, the crew ask everybody to make those rescues. I think that's one of the key factors. Just really doesn't get talked about. It kind of gets lost in the noise about the border.
But it was nothing but a photo op. Nothing but a photo op.
Off the concrete.
Nothing but a photo op. Nothing but a photo op. Because the numbers tell all. Because the ICE put out, because it was interesting, because on the same day, ICE put out non-detained, non-citizen criminals that day, as she went there, put out 13,999 convicted of homicide have been released into the U.S. 15,811 convicted of sexual assault, for a total of 425,431 totaled non-detained, non-citizen convicted criminals have been released into the U.S. by Biden and Harris. That's a big number. That is a big number of criminals that have been 1,845 pending homicides, 4,250 pending sexual assault cases, for a total of 221,141 total of pending charges that have been released into the U.S. Wow. Thank you, Biden and Harris. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Biden and Harris. Thank you. We appreciate you. What's next? I'm looking to see if they spoke yet in Tennessee or North Carolina yet. The governor spoke yet. No, they have not spoken yet. No, they have not spoken yet. So I figured they would, but they have not. I figured they would be speaking here soon. The governors was supposed to be having a meeting, and they were supposed to speak, but I have not seen it yet. But I do know the debate is supposed to be coming up soon between Vance and Waltz. I'm not sure what day that is, but I know they have a debate coming up here soon. I have to talk to Mellows about that and see if we're going to do a joint show between that with the debate coming up. I have to talk to Mellows and see if we'll be doing a joint show. On that would be fun, doing a joint show with the debate. On that would be fun. But I am seeing where Chimney Rock is totally gone. I see many towns have been totally washed away. Totally gone. Totally. I I see SpaceX has arrived to rescue the stranded astronauts. Um, 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 Wow, I didn't know they were going to rescue those astronauts. Holy cow. So they have got a rescue mission. So they have a rescue. So I guess they are rescuing those stranded in space. I kicked myself out. So they are rescuing them into space. Oh, anything else going on? I didn't have much today for a show, so I will tell you that much. Today was kind of a slow day. Over the weekend was slow. I was kind of prepping for winter, getting my house ready for winter. So it was kind of a slow day. So I was kind of prepping, getting my house ready for winter. So I wasn't on the internet much. So I wasn't on much. Let's play video.
Mama bear so strong by our side. Oh, in the morning giving love with each stride. Oh, she protects us, keeps us safe and warm. In her embrace we weather the storm. Mama bear, always there when we cry. Oh, with her love lifting spirits high. Oh, she watches over with a gentle smile. Her compassion makes it all worthwhile. Oh, Mama Bear, she cares all the time. Her love's a rhythm, a perfect rhyme. Oh, she brings us news with a touch so kind. In her embrace we always find. Mama Bear, every day she fights. Oh, for our dreams makes the dark so bright. Oh, she's the hero, the one who stands tall. In her arms we never fall. Mama Bear, every word so wise. Oh, tells the stories, opens up the skies. With her care we can touch the stars. Her love takes us near or far. Mama Bear, every word so wise. Tells the stories, opens up the skies. With her care we can touch the stars. Her love takes us near or far. Mother bear, she cares all the time. Her love's a rhythm, a perfect rhyme, a perfect rhyme. She brings us news with a touch so kind. In her embrace, we always find.
Thank you, Mellows, for doing that song. So I am going to close the show. Like I said, there wasn't much news this weekend. I just wanted to give an update on what was happening and be diligent and keep an eye on the strike of the shoremen and be diligent and what you have in your pantries and stuff. So you all have a great day and keep families in prayers with what's still going on. There's still families missing. There is still families missing. Keep them in prayers. And as always, you all have a great day, evening, morning, whichever it may be. So everybody have a good one. Thank you for joining me.
This is your emergency broadcast system. All civil unrest has gone global. All capital buildings and cities are under siege by the United States government to quell the domestic terrorist threat. All residents of urban neighborhoods and cities are being ordered to stay in their homes until the threats are eliminated. If you disobey orders, you could be shot on sight by rogue agents, federal forces, and domestic terrorist militias. This is your emergency broadcast system. This is a national alert. Imminent threat is nationwide. You must stay in sight of your homes or risk being shot on sight. The conspiracy is upon you. Your conspiracy friends were right all along. Now you must learn to survive. If you hear this, you are the resistance. This is your emergency broadcast system. End of broadcast.